Coming to you live on location, this is the Between the Benches podcast, where we will discuss anything and everything hockey related. Let's drop the puck and get the action underway. All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome into the Between the Benches podcast. As always, it's your host, Dak. Thanks for joining us this evening. We are brought to you by the Old City Sports Network. If you don't quit mouthing things, I'm gonna lose my mind. Anyway, we're brought to you by the Old City Sports Network. Make sure to check out oldcitysports.com. That's old with an E, OLDE, for all your Philadelphia podcasts, blogs, stories, stuff that we don't care about outside the city of Philadelphia, but that's okay. I love you anyway. Check out their merch store as well. You get 15% off using the promo code OldCity. Fellas, how are we doing? I'm joined by my esteemed Canadian colleagues, Grandpa, Big Canada, Daddy Brock Finch. How are we?
Fantastic. This is another extension of our report cards. It's one of my favorite divisions, obviously, with the Jackets over here. If you listen to our last podcast with Dylan Tyre, this kind of adds on to that. But first, we have a haircut alert.
Are you fucking kidding me?
If you guys haven't noticed, our daddy hit me up to legit this episode. So give him some love.
Fucking did not. I'm going in blind too. Hook, line, and sinker.
I got no idea what's going on either.
God.
Who got a haircut?
I've been waiting for this.
Oh my god, that's so stupid.
It looks good though.
Oh, thanks, man. Yours does too. Now that you mention it.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
I've never seen him so red, Graham. I never.
Oh.
He's so red. If you're
this
listening
is
to
an
this on the
episode you guys have
podcast,
to watch as a
man.
podcast.
That's
100%.
funny. I would have shaved if I had known we were doing a bit.
Oh, we there.
Nice.
God.
Nice. Well, good to hear. Good to hear. I know we got a couple busy weeks. Bowling season is upon us, unfortunately.
Sure is.
But that means hockey season's right around the corner, so get excited. Get excited for that.
Yeah.
So, but like you mentioned, Graham, we will get into our Metro Division report cards or recaps from the past season. These report cards are going to be brought to you by our friends over at IronSteelThreads.com. Make sure to check out IronSteelThreads.com. They've got great hoodies, shirts, shorts, other apparel. They come out with new designs every month. They are made here in the States, and you can use the promo code OldCity10 for 10% off, and a portion of your proceeds will go to youth hockey organizations. So we are going to start out with the Central Division, or I guess we're going to cover the Metro. Division. And yes, we're going to cover the Metro in this episode, if I can learn how to put words together. But the first team up to bat this evening, we wanted to go with the Pittsburgh Penguins. So shout out to Caden, and make sure to check out Yinzers on Ice, or Yins on Ice, I believe, the podcast, part of the Old City Sports Network family as well. But they had a little bit of a busy offseason. They've added some key players: Alexander Alexiev, Parker Witherspoon, Justin Barzeau, and Anthony Mantha, if you can call that a busy offseason. They did lose goalie Alex Nedeljkovic. They do have a little over they have almost $16 million remaining in cap space. So I will cover some of the stats here in just a second. But just first thoughts, Graham, on the recap of the Pittsburgh Penguins 2025 season.
I hate to see guys like Sidney Crosby just rot. He's not rotting, but the Pittsburgh Penguins organization is rotting, and they are just burning his remaining years. I've said it on the podcast a lot. Crosby is truly a great in this game, and they're not going anywhere. You have all this cap space. You're not getting notable players. Why is he still a Penguin?
He wants to be.
He's loyal.
Yeah, he wants to be.
But it's not just hockey fans that want to see him. Like, I'm pretty sure Pittsburgh Penguin fans would be okay with him taking a run at a cup because they know it's not going to be for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
You should go hop on to Pittsburgh Twitter and Penguins Twitter.
I'm sure Colorado fans feel the same too. Like, yeah, they would love to see Sidney Crosby go for a cup in Colorado.
So as much as I would love to echo your statements, but I don't know if I could echo them so succinctly as you. Graham's C's per 60 on Sidney Crosby this year are just through the fucking roof. He's given no one else the C as much as Sidney Crosby.
No one deserves it.
Fair enough. I'm not saying it's not deserved, not at all. But apparently, according to Elliot Friedman, if we want him to get traded, you need to stop doing what we're doing and saying it into existence. Apparently, every time he hears people talk about it, this is Sidney, he just goes, oh, for fuck's sakes. It like annoys him. So it's like, okay, let's just shut up and pray that he actually accepts a trade. And this is the last we will speak of it. But
how about this, Mr. Sidney Crosby?
Big time listener of this podcast.
Big time listener.
For the remainder of your years.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yes.
You need to stay a Pittsburgh Penguin.
We as a podcast would be so upset if he went to a different team. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. The psychology. I love this. Yes. That's the I love this. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
whoever's agent is.
To add to this, though, like, and I'm not going to add much because, sorry, Caden, I don't really think there's much to say here. This is probably your bottom 3 team in a walk this season. I don't see a world where.
9.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I mean. This is clearly the only team trying to get worse. I don't think they're going to use that cap space at all. I think Rust and Raquel are out the door whenever they so choose. And that's the long and the short of it. Bottom 3 team. What they did this year, I mean, it's got to be an F, right? I'll start us off. It's got to be an F.
For everyone but Sidney Crosby,
yeah,
it's an F.
Well, they did finish 7th in the Metro. They had 80 points overall. That was 24th in the league. They were 19th in goals for. They were 3rd worst in goals against. They were 6th on the power play, 18th on the penalty kill, 15th in shots, and then 18th in shot percentage. So there was not really – I mean, 6th on power play percentage is pretty good, but outside of that, they were average at best on a lot of other categories. So
very mid.
Yeah, 100. I mean, mid is definitely the right phrase here. I don't know if it's an F because I feel like the expectation, everybody kind of knew that they were going to suck going in.
Ask Kyle Dubas that question. I'd love to get some insight.
Right?
Hey, that's just not
they make the playoffs.
Nice.
Yeah.
COVID.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, I'll go D. I think I'm going to go D here.
F it is.
It's okay. So everybody else
an F plus.
Okay, there it is.
And we all know where that plus comes from.
That's right.
Nice. Well, the next team up we had on the docket was the Philadelphia Flyers. They had some key additions. They started with David Vladar, Christian, Dovrak, and then obviously Trevor Zegras, the big offseason acquisition. They did lose Ryan Foling in the free agent frenzy, and then they have a little over $5.5 million left in cap space. And they also they hired a new coach in the offseason as well. So, Brock, where would you land on the Flyers' overall grade for 2025?
I want to go lower, even though their expectations were lower, for the reason of I don't know why they stretched Tortorella the way he did, or the way they did. I think that he was clearly past his expiration date. We could smell the milk from here in Canada. I don't think anything went outside of like what they would have expected. Like the friction between Michkov and Torts was evident. I think everything that we thought would happen happened in Philly with regards to like their goaltending, still trash. The only bright spot at forward was really, Konechny. Who did they move at the deadline? Didn't they move a defenseman?
Frost, I think.
No, yeah, you're right. I'm thinking of Frost. Yeah. Frost and Fairview, Calgary. Yeah, they got Kuzmenko back, who they then flipped to LA, which I guess in hindsight is pretty good asset management. I don't know. For me, I guess all of this to say D plus feels about right. I don't really think anything was out of the norm, but yeah. What else is there to say? I'm sorry, all our Philly, our network fans, all of our network.
Yeah, right.
Fans. I'm sorry. News, I don't have much else to say on the Flyers.
Martone.
I mean, yeah. Excited about that. I hear a lot of good things about the draft, and there's reasons to be excited going forward. But given a grade for this past season, I don't know, D plus feels about as mellow as I can go.
Yeah, Graham.
I'll give him a little better grade. I agree with what Brock's saying. They were never going to be a playoff team. Of course, in typical Torts fashion, it's going to end with him getting fired and just causing drama because, Tortorella is that kind of a guy. I do think that with the addition of Zegras, could you imagine Tortorella and Zegras on the same team?
No, I can't. That's why it's not there.
So I'm pretty sure this deal was done years ago. It's just they had to wait for Tortorella to be gone.
They didn't have to wait though. Like that's what. Why not just? I don't know. To me, going into the season with him was like an abject failure mistake. Like it
does feel worse. Like I know they weren't having high expectations, but I do think that my expectations of them were bad. Their stats were not good in almost any of them. So I'm going to go D+.
Oh, that's just agree with me.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're kind of right there in the
same
I was going
to say C-, and then I just kept talking into a D+.
Yeah.
And the more you talk about the Flyers, I feel like you're going to get a lower and lower grade. I feel like
lower. And I'm kind of with you. I think I'm in that D area too because I feel like they really needed to address their goaltending situation in the offseason, and they didn't. They could have gotten Shelovs from Vancouver.
Well, would have been a nice
addition. Well, okay, yeah, they could go down that route again. I feel like there was a couple of other options, that they definitely I think should have explored, but they just chose not to. I don't know if they're trying to hang on to cap space to the 5.5 that they have already. They're obviously not a goaltender away, so I can kind of get why not spending money on one guy.
I think they should punt this year and, maybe try to get a certain someone that seems like he's going to come up at least once every single episode in next year's draft.
They did have 2 top 12 picks in the draft, so you know what?
It's not an F. Properly. It's not an F. It can't be an F. It can't be. They didn't fail this season, but
they did finish 8th in the Metro with 76 points. That was 29th in the league. It's not very good. There's only 32 teams. 24th in goals for, 5th in goals against, which is not good, by the way. You want a lower ranking in goals against. 30th on the power play, 20th on the PK, 26th on shots, and 17th in shooting percentage. So if you thought the Penguins were mid, by God, this team was just even more mid than the Penguins were.
Oh, mid's an upgrade.
So, literally. Yeah, literally. So it'll be interesting what happens moving forward. Their defense is not terrible with Sanheim and Cam York and Sealer and Drysdale. It doesn't look like a bad top 4 pairing, but it's going to be interesting to see with Zegras in the mix. Yeah, Zegras and Tippett on their second line might be a good little pairing there. Maybe. But we'll definitely see what happens moving forward. But I think we're all in agreement with the D here. So the next team we had up had a very busy offseason as well, and that is the New York Rangers. So the Rangers have had a little bit of a busy offseason, unloading and loading players. Some key additions they've had were Vladislav Gavrikov from the Kings. They added Scott Morrow and as well as Taylor Radish. They ended up losing Keandre Miller, Jacob Trouba, and Chris Kreider in the offseason as well. Some of the staples we've come to know and love from the New York Rangers. They have a little over $700,000 in cap space remaining, so nothing really that they can move as far as I guess flexibility is the best word to describe that. So, Graham, as far as the 2025 season for the Rangers, what would you throw your grade on it as?
Oh, that's an easy F.
Thank you. I thought I was going to talk you into it.
I know you could rewind and rewatch all the episodes of me saying, you know what, they're going to come back. They're going to come back. And they should have. I still think if there's another game to play in this season, they'd still win it. But goddamn, did they fucking suck this year? How do you go from winning the President's Trophy to this?
To missing the playoffs.
Not just missing the playoffs. You fucking blew everything up. Like, we knew that this year there were a lot of expiring contracts, and next year's team was
They would look different, yes.
But some of the guys they got rid of weren't on those expiring deals. And I'll say the assets they got in return weren't very notable. Like, all they were saying is if you don't want to be a Ranger, goodbye. And that's it.
Literally.
I don't even like them moving forward.
Well, I mean,
they blew everything up. They didn't get anything back in terms of draft capital.
Miller exists.
What?
Miller exists. Like, the JT Miller trade. Like that,
JT
that
Miller.
was
Okay, I thought you
objectively
were
an
meant
upgrade.
DeAndre Miller. Yeah.
No.
JT
Sorry,
Miller. Yes, you go all in. You get JT.
They're objectively better at forward now than they were last year at the start of last year.
And JT Miller is going to play next to a top 10 left winger in this league, according to someone on this podcast.
And also, JT Miller was in a big dramatic feud on his last team. So let's get rid of everyone who's already feuding in a bad locker room, and let's get someone involved in another bad situation in a different locker room. That'll solve everything.
Do we think it's in the room?
It's the fucking liquid Band-Aid, I guess.
I do like the upgrade of Gavrikov here, but Brock, what would you? You're going to go with an F as well?
No, I genuinely, when I saw the Rangers and thought to myself, how can it be anything but an F? And I could see me having to argue with Graham about how it's not just a D-. Like, I was genuinely preparing for that discussion. But I will say this. The Gavrikov is an upgrade on Miller. However, losing Kreider, and I think so.
I think
Gavrikov's very good defensively. He's very, very good defensively. Now, that being said, watch Miller do what Brady Shea did in Carolina and just absolutely pop off. Because that's exactly what happened. Everyone thought that trade was crazy, and, well, here we are. He's wildly overpaid in Nashville now because of that tenure in Carolina. But I'm getting off topic here. Getting sidetracked. So I don't think losing Kreider and Trouba for essentially nothing is going to, make them better even with the cap space. I do think we're going to see them take a step back from where they finished, and yet I still think they'll be in contention for the playoffs. In more of a wild card situation, because I think Shesterkin will probably bounce back. I'd assume a full year of Mike Sullivan absolutely improves everything. Mike Sullivan's a good coach. I would expect them to be a wild card team next year, but we're not talking about grading next year or the potential of next year. We're talking about this past year, and like Graham said, abject failure. You went from like one of the clear cup contenders going into the season. Everyone was talking about them like they were a cup contender. There was a certain person on this podcast that may or may not have been having wet dreams to this team. Like I'm not even exaggerating.
I told you that in confidence.
Nice plot twist. So yeah, it's an F. Dalton, I don't know if you have anything we haven't brought up already, but for me it's an F, and it's easy.
I mean, I think the scariest part is that they could take a step back even more because Jonathan Quick played so well last year when he actually did get ice time, and when Shesterkin wasn't, obviously playing up to Shesterkin level, you got like prime Johnny Quick for like a good portion of the season. He won a lot more games than you would expect him to win
100%,
as your backup. So I mean, even for that regression, it could be even scarier. But I mean, they did finish 5th in the Metro. They had 85 points. That was 22nd in the league. They were 12th in goals for, 14th in goals against, 28th on the power play. They were just abysmal on the man advantage. They were 11th on the PK, 11th in shots, and 14th in shooting percentage. You got to have a rebound season from Mika Zibanejad. And Adam Fox and Artemi Panarin. I mean, Panarin's got to show up a little bit more.
He had like 90.
Yeah, he was still mostly Panarin.
Well, I think
the next highest points total, 62, was Zibanejad.
Yikes. That's tough.
Is that good?
He's making way too much money to not be
let's
scoring.
not forget that Panarin's contract will expire after next season. So there's going to be eyes surrounding him all year long if he does not sign an extension.
And that's what I was about to say, too, is like best case scenario is almost you want him to start with the world on fire and then you trade him because his value is never going to be higher.
That's a take. We can maybe unpack that closer to the season, but that's a take. Yeah. I disagree with it. That's why I'm noting it like this.
If he comes out with like 30 points in the first like 20 games, then you could maybe flip him for 2 firsts.
So that's a whole other discussion. We're talking about potentially because you're trying to win a cup.
Have we given up on Lafreniere yet? Sorry, I'm bored of that.
Oh, that's a good question. Yes. He's their first top line right winger right now, by the way.
He had 45 points this past year. He is 22, and he tied with another 22-year-old who I was a fan of, Will Cooley.
Yeah, that's tough. Because like one of those guys is supposed to be generating.
One of them was drafted first overall. The other one was drafted late second round.
Well, I told you, Cooley wildly overperformed expectations. What was his shooting percentage when we did that for the fantasy corner? Like
he had 20 goals.
He was like obnoxiously unsustainable. Like I would never predict 50+ points.
Well, and the other thing
more
too
goals
is
than Lafreniere.
Again, shot like 50% though. So
the last thing too, before
and he
we
led
put
the
this
team
to
in
bed,
plus minus to 12.
What about Vinny Trocheck being your first line center? Like that's only got a year or two left, I would say, at the best. I still don't think you're even a cup contender with Vincent Trocheck as your first line center.
I not as your first.
29, I think.
I don't remember. I think Vinny Trocheck could still be your second line center on a cup contender.
I would say second line, 100%, but I don't think it'd be your top
also
line.
advocating that Zibanejad's their top line center.
Or JT Miller?
Or JT Miller.
Question mark?
Entirely possible. They could run those three at center, and that's crazy,
1, 2,
crazy deep. That's crazy deep at center. That's as good as just about any team in the league at center.
Yeah.
Trocheck's on your third line, centering. Who cares? Like getting great deployment. Like that's There's a scenario. This is why I don't think Panarin's getting traded. But we're talking more about the upcoming season as opposed to grading the past one.
Well, fair enough. Well, we'll punt on that one, and we'll move on to the next team up, which is the Carolina Hurricanes. They were not as busy in the offseason, but they were definitely busy during the season. So they did have some key additions. They added defenseman Keandre Miller, like you just mentioned. They also added Nikolai Ehlers, and they also added Nichushkin from a defenseman standpoint. They did lose Brett Burns in the offseason as well. They still have $10.6 million in cap space remaining, and we'll kind of get to the point of finger fumbling around. But, Graham, what was your overall grade for the Carolina Hurricanes this past season?
They're kind of a fun team to grade because on paper they were outstanding. What their numbers did all year was do nothing but sparkle. But I can't help but get the whole Rantanen situation out of my fucking head. Because Necas, he broke out this year. He was a stud, and we were all waiting for him to cool down. Never did. Then they turned Necas into Rantanen. Great. Even better. You sold high. And then you got rid of Rantanen for Stankoven?
And Taylor Hall.
Went from Necas to Stankoven, so you got worse.
There was also another forward. I forget the other forward.
Sure. But when we're talking about best players in the deal, I think Carolina was built to win now. I still think they're built to win in the future. But I feel like the Stankoven is a much further bet down the road to pay off as opposed to the Necas or the Rantanen. But I feel like they got worse and they got bounced because they should have. They were so good in the regular season.
But as far as a grade, though,
I still got to go A-. Fuck it, they get the A.
A-. Wow. Okay.
Their numbers are too good. They were a force all year. They're just a typical Carolina team. They're really hard to beat and they're really fucking good. They're just not flashy.
Okay. A-.
Thank you for that.
Hey, that's the first A of the podcast. Come on.
Canada Daddy.
I really wish that you didn't take my A take. I will open with it. I'm giving them an A- as well. But I'm going to tell you this
you guys.
From a very different it's crazy that Graham and I are on the same wavelength twice in a row. It's absolutely
I know. That means you guys are wrong.
Probably. So where Graham kind of hinted at, he never outright said it. He implicitly said it. If they had simply taken those 2 first-round picks they got in the Rantanen deal and flipped them immediately for like immediate help, like say a Brock Besser, for example, and supplemented their forwards and scoring, maybe we're talking about a different situation in the conference final when they run into the actual best team in the league. And that is where I had a hard time keeping it at an A- because you can't lose like that, man. Like, I know we argue and we haggle over like winning and losing. Is it just black and white or is there some gray to it, et cetera, et cetera? To me, the way you win and lose is equally as important as just the outcome. And the way they lost to the Panthers was demoralizing. Like, it was awful. Like, They almost got swept again. And they won.
Were they the worst loss to the Florida Panthers this offseason or this postseason?
Yeah.
I won't argue.
I mean, none of those games were competitive except
none
for
of those games were close. None.
Yeah.
Not one of those games were competitive.
Except for the game that Carolina won.
Again, yay! That's their Stanley Cup. Like, I don't think. No, I'm going A- because they had way too much success. They finally threw their chips in on a big player. They tried to sign him, didn't work, wasn't a fit, whatever. I still think they accomplished a lot of what they wanted to accomplish, and I am poo-pooing the concept of a conference final demoralizing loss as a demoralizing loss, but it is still the conference final. Apparently, that would have saved Brendan Shanahan's job, and Mitch Arner would still be a Leaf, but I digress. I digress.
Oh, man. Well, I do like those points. They did make a couple moves that I do like. The Ehlers edition, I think, is perfect for them. Ehlers, excuse me. Yeah, I'm mixing his first name and last name there. Ehlers is going to be a good addition there. Yes. Seth Jarvis had his official welcome to the NHL season. Yes, 100%. I like that they got Freddie Anderson on a very team-friendly deal for another year or two, so they're pretty much solidified in net. They've got that taken care of. They get Keandre Miller. The only thing I didn't like was they got rid of my boy. They got rid of him. Brock, do you know who they got rid of? I didn't even mention this on
your boy.
Yeah.
I do. Oh, give me a second. I'll get there.
Yeah. They got rid of my boy.
Roslovic.
Yes, they got rid of Roslovic, which is just really depressing.
Apparently, the Leafs are in on him. Apparently.
Yeah, they should. 30-goal scorer, possibly.
With them in the U.S. League, I guess. I don't.
I am excited to see more of Nikishin.
Yes.
That will be
very touted.
When we get to fantasy prep episodes, we're going to be talking a little bit about Nikishin.
And Shane Gostisbehere was quarterbacking this power play last year. He's now projected to be their third pair, which is crazy.
That's where he should.
Like, talk about.
He's a power play guy. Yeah.
That's what he's good at. He's very good at it.
Life comes at you fast. Anyway. But yeah, I'm with you. I guess I would go A. I mean, they did finish second in the Metro. They had 99 points. They were 10th in the league. They were 9th in goals of 4. They were 23rd in goals allowed. They were 25th on the power play, first in the PK, second in shots, and 23rd in shooting percentage. So you talk about big regressions for teams in shooting percentage. I think Carolina could be one of those teams that has a good bounce back in the other direction heading into fantasy season.
They shoot from everywhere. It's not like all their shots are dangerous, though. They like to keep pressure.
I love how we went from Graham saying A-, Dalton losing his mind, to his grade being better than ours.
It just means it's very persuasive.
Yeah. I just want.
I got you better than that.
I didn't know how you could give him an A when they literally got the best player.
You just
and then they had to flip him. But then, I don't know. But then from a business standpoint, they did.
They were still one of the last 4 remaining teams this year. Like, that's not nothing.
Yeah, just because they were on the right side of the bracket.
They went out and acquired Rantanen.
Yes.
It's just how it all unfolded. You can't really reward. You can reward the balls that it took to get it done.
Can you take the same approach to Nashville, though?
No.
Like, they had the balls to go out and
Nashville is not going to get it.
That's last year's offseason.
But I'm just saying, you got to take the same principle. It feels like the same
If we were grading last year, I would have. And then going into that season, we would look like idiots.
Well, we were, because we all had them in the playoffs.
Yeah, we look like idiots.
All right. Anyway, we'll move on. We'll definitely see. But speaking of seeing, make sure to, Graham hinted this earlier, check out our last episode before this one with our interview with Dylan Tyre. It was a great time. Hope he's enjoying his honeymoon, by the way. He got married over the weekend, so congratulations to him. But the Columbus Blue Jackets are up on the docket next. They had a couple key additions. They added Charlie Coyle and Miles Wood from Colorado this offseason. They did lose Justin Danforth and Sean Corrali in the process. Still have a little over $16.3 million in cap space. So still waiting for them to make those money moves, if you will. But Graham, as far as grading the Blue Jackets this past season, I mean, it's got to be an A, right?
In terms of moves made, I don't think I can really credit the moves they made. But in terms of how they finish based on the expectations, it can't be anything less than an A. I mean, you start the year with the tragedy of Johnny Gaudreau. You lose him. And you're forced to trade Patrick Laine for Magic Beans. So you're out your two highest scorers, potentially.
I'd argue.
And yeah, expectations are low. Like, you're supposed to be a lottery team. You were a lottery team. Then you lose your top two scorers. And they were 1 point out of the playoffs. One game, at least. And yeah, it's got to be an A. There's just so much to look forward to as a Jackets fan right now. And I'm obviously a little biased. But in terms of like Fantilli scoring 30, Werenski 82 points with Norris votes. Like Monahan coming back, who I was very skeptical about, took the top line role, and he was over a point per game. It's just, yeah. The story of what the Jackets season was just a couple playoff games away from being perfect in my eyes.
100%. Brock?
It's hard not to be romantic about hockey, isn't it?
Yes, isn't it?
If you want to nitpick, and I don't, but if you want to, you could quibble with the trades in general. And you could quibble, like, for example, the Jiricek trade, the Laine trade, I would, in hindsight, like I said, I think I'd argue they won. The signing of Provorov was less than ideal. I think that we're going to come to
the acquiring of Fabro.
Yeah. Like I said, if you wanted to nitpick, you could. Like the trading for Kunin. Ultimately, it's like I said, we're nitpicking. You said it well enough. Given the circumstances, I don't think anyone had them finishing anywhere outside the bottom five, and they almost made the playoffs. It's an A. I don't think we need to quibble too much more over it. Go listen to our interview with Dylan Tyre. If you're curious about more Jackets content, you get another 45 minutes of just pure. Oh, it was good stuff. Like he's a good time. He's got a lot to say, and he says it well. So Dalton, is there anything we're forgetting?
No, other than the fact that I've got the hiccups right now. It's driving me nuts.
Well, let's not forget, we had the NHL enforcer on our team. I don't think he lost a fight all year. Like,
that's true.
Matthew,
he is the heavyweight. Yeah, he's the heavyweight.
Fun to watch.
Yeah, he is the heavyweight.
No, they got the goalie they wanted. I mean, the only like what Dylan mentioned in our interview is, I mean, the only downfall of this team really was goaltending. Yes, I know it's really funny.
But that was also their strength down the stretch in Jack Reeves.
Yeah, Jack Reeves. Yeah, well, and it'll be interesting to see if he plays as well as he's shown to play.
He'll play 1A this year.
He's earned that.
Yeah, he was fourth. The Jackets finished fourth in the Metro last year, 89 points, 20th in the league. They were eighth in goals for, eighth in goals against. Damn it, 22nd on the power play, 22nd on the penalty kill, 10th in shots, and 17th in shooting percentage. So again, I know this is terrible timing. Like I said, just the biggest hole, if they could get that consistency in goaltending that they got at the end of the year, I just a lot of signs are pointing up for this Blue Jackets team.
I do think their depth got stronger as well. Like if the players added and lost, I think it improved their, bottom six.
Yes. Well, we'll see. Maybe Gavin McKenna, maybe? Question mark? Could you imagine?
Oh, I mean, it could have been the Gaudreau effect. Maybe it was Dean Evison. Maybe it's some sort of hybrid. But with the expectations we had going into the season, I don't think this season made me forget about it. And I still think they're facing the same issues. So hopefully, if it happens again this year, I'm sold.
Yeah. Chile, I learned that everybody's not a fan of the Chile chant either, which is kind of sad.
I think we're learning you're the only one who is.
I know. That's what's insane. Who doesn't love free chili? Anyway, all right, we'll get sidetracked into that conversation. The next team up, probably the most surprising team from this past season, was the Washington Capitals. These hiccups are going to be the death of me, I swear. The only key addition that I had noted was defenseman Declan Chisholm.
Declan.
Is that Declan? Anyway,
Pretty sure.
Declan Chisholm. They really didn't lose any players. They have a little bit over $4.1 million in cap space remaining. And I'm going to throw this over to Brock to give us his report card grade for the 2025 Capitals. Take it away, Canada Daddy.
Wow. Do we need to pump their tires any more than we have all year? Like, honestly. Like, talk about a team that we thought, they're probably going to be meh around the wild card. And then, a month into the season, we're talking about them like they're a juggernaut. And they're one of the best teams in the league. And they showed that all year round. Tom Wilson had a career year. Dylan Strome had a career year. Ovi had a fucking renaissance year. Like, what else is there to say that hasn't already been said? Chychrun worked out with flying colors.
Protoss.
Goaltending was stellar. Protas was a breakout. Like
Leonard came up.
Leonard finished the year. Like, everything's hitting on 21 and showing up aces for the Capitals. I don't know what else you want to A+. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I know the first round was easy, and then the second round was the second round. Whatever.
It was supposed to be easier than what it was.
That's true. Montreal put up a fight, but A+. There's no. I don't know what else there is to say.
And Logan Thompson played well all year for them.
They got great goaltending, period, in a sentence, all year round.
Yeah. All right,
yeah,
Graham?
It was supposed to be a 1A, 1B. Thompson took it over. That's what you want to see in that situation. It's A+. I'm looking at the stats right now, and Ovi, 73 points in 65 games. He's 38 years old, for fuck's sakes. He scored 44.
Yeah. With a broken leg.
Fun fact, guys. This is our first A+.
Well,
we have not given an A+.
Dalton has not given one. I mean, they won the President's Trophy.
I would say if you don't, you're literally just – no, didn't Winnipeg win the first one?
Not in my eyes.
They were second.
I don't know. The only downside is that Sonny Milano really hasn't gotten any playing time for the Caps. That's like the only downfall from last year.
F. All the way to an F. Yeah.
Literally. But no, I mean, outside of that, I mean, the Bolivier pickup was a nice little addition, even.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, top to bottom, my guy Connor McMichael coming out having a scoring party.
Yes.
So yeah, no, hard to go any other grade than an A here for the Capitals. They get the scoring record. They have arguably one of the best seasons they've had in franchise history. And just the way they did it to come out of nowhere, I am beside myself right now. But I mean, the biggest adjustment that they needed going from the wild card season to this past season was they just needed to score more goals. And by God, they did that. They went from like 28th in the league all the way up to second. So just to recap too, with their past season, they were first in the Metro. They finished with 111 points. They were second in the league. They were second in goals for, 24th in goals against, 13th on the power play, 5th on the penalty kill, second in shots. And Brock, this is my favorite stat. They were first in shooting percentage at 12.6%. They led the league. So look out for the Capitals to have a big regression in scoring next season.
I don't know about a big regression, but I think that's fair to point out. There's probably going to be some regression there.
Okay, well, fair enough. Yeah. Ovi's probably not going to score 40-something goals again. So.
I'm not betting against him until he stops doing it. I'm not saying he's not until he stops doing it.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, hopefully injuries stay away because well, no, I guess it's the team after that. But anyway, the next team up on the docket we had was the New York Islanders. Just some key additions for them this offseason. They obviously got Matthew Shaver with the first overall pick. They added Jonathan Drouin as well as Emil Heineman. They did – God, I'm going to lose my shit. They did lose Noah Dobson in this offseason with the trade with Montreal, and they have almost $4 million in cap space remaining. So, Graham, as far as the Islanders season is concerned, where would you fall on the grading scale?
I don't see anything great from the Islanders. And that's hard. You had the huge regression in Dobson this past year. You had Patrick Waugh behind the bench. And can you guess what their highest point total was? Like who had the most points and what it was?
Well, Barzal was hurt. So was it Horvat?
Horvat. It was Horvat.
I don't. The number is 65, if that.
57. That is your leading scorer. We all know that Patrick Waugh hated goals. He was a goalie.
That's rough.
Play defense, protect the net, and you got to put the fucking puck in the net.
That's so bad, though.
Like, I don't know in the offseason, I know the direction they're going. They get rid of Dobson, so obviously they're hunting for Gavin McKenna.
Darsh has clearly pointed them at Gavin McKenna. He's pointed them squarely at Gavin McKenna.
And I see that as a plus. I see that as an off-season plus.
So all in all,
all in all, D plus.
Oh, that's harsh.
Harsh. What have they done to earn any higher?
I think, again, whenever I give these grades, I think about the expectations. And for me, I don't know what their expectations were because Lou is just – I think Lou is finally starting to, lose his touch and everybody's just scared of him and doesn't want to tell him what to do. It's nice to see that Darsh has his own control. I was going to go C. I feel like this is about as vanilla as it gets. Like, they didn't make the playoffs, but they probably didn't intend to finish last. They did what they accomplished to do, which was mediocrity. Now, you're pointing out their leading scorer at 57 does make me maybe want to go C-.
The year before that, Horvat had 68. Dobson had 70. Barzal had 80. Brock Nelson had 69. No one showed up this year.
Yeah. Well, injuries were
an average C grade. It shouldn't even be on the table.
I'm picking up.
Well, they did arguably have the best draft this year than out of anybody.
This offseason is.
How do you fuck that up?
But this offseason is doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Like, a lot of the heavy lifting for me here. Like, and again, maybe it's recency.
Okay, besides Schaefer, who do you like?
I'd have to go back and look. I'm not a draft expert.
They got Victor Eklund, Kashawn, Atchison.
Look, you went D plus. I'm only like 10% higher on a grading scale here. I'm not over here arguing it's an A. You know what I mean?
28th in goals for, 31st in power play percentage, 31st in.
I'm arguing they deserve like 75% on the test. You gave them a 67.
I'm going down to a D. Fuck it.
Okay, 65. Whatever. Like we're talking about a difference of 10% on this test. Like, and I'm going with the more recent. I like where they're trending. I like that they're finally going to do some sort of a retool. I'm happy with that because they clearly couldn't put the puck in the net. Like, fucking clearly. That's always been it's been a problem for over a decade now.
And they're still not addressing it. They're not even addressing the hole on the back end that they just created.
You don't need to because you're not trying to win games. See the difference?
He's going to Pittsburgh. Doesn't matter. McKenna's wearing the penguin on his chest.
I'm going to keep saying it because I'm going to try to reverse psychology that out of existence. Dalton, break this tie. We got a C, we got a D.
Yeah, I'm still trying to keep the hiccups at a bare minimum here. I would probably go C just because the expectation is where it stands. They are going through a lot of changes. They're going through, a head coaching change. They're going through, maybe not a head coaching, a GM change, but basically a whole organizational change. And that's never easy, regardless of who the team is. So I think that curbs it a little bit for me. I do think they had a really good, draft. Obviously, going from like 10th best odds to number 1 overall is that's hard to argue to not at least be a failure because you could still screw up the number 1 pick. I mean, I was still on team traded.
Maybe
that's
they
just
did.
Me. Yeah, you never know.
Find out.
Well, yeah, only time will tell. Magic beans. But I'm more on Brock here. I'm more C to like C- range than I am the D or D- range.
I heard C- then. That's what I'm.
So, and the last team that we had on the docket in the Metro were the New Jersey Devils. So the Devils, they battled the injury bug basically the whole year. Basically, like I'm battling the hiccup bug right now. But some key players added. They added Connor Brown and Evgeny Dadonov to the roster. They did lose Brian Dumoulin, Eric Halla, and Curtis Lazar this offseason, and then they have almost $7 million remaining in cap space. So outside of getting the other Hughes brother out of Vancouver to New Jersey, what would you what would you give the offseason grade, or I guess the previous season grade, to the Devils for Big Canada Daddy?
This one is really, really hard to like scrutinize heavily, given the man games lost alone are just obnoxious. Like Hughes going down right at the end of the season, it just knuckleballed everything into exactly what we thought would happen. Did happen in the playoffs because of it, and that's what's so depressing about their whole season. That being said, I think that these guys are poised to be like, they're definitely going to contend for the division, assuming they stay healthy. So I think there's a lot of reason to be optimistic for next year. But as for a grade, again, it's hard to be harsh. I'll say C again. I don't think you can say anything above that, just because their expectations were higher, but it's also unfair to expect them to achieve those expectations given the amount of just absolute nonsense they had to deal with. Like at one point, we're 4 of their top 6 defensemen out for an extended period of time. Like, it was crazy town for them this year. I don't know. What do you guys think about my logic on giving them a C here?
I like it. I'm going to go C+ because I think they did exactly what they should have done. When you lose that many games, you don't try and buy players you don't want to lose long-term assets for a short-term game. And they didn't do that. They just kind of treaded water and waited for their guys to come back. This is a playoff team. This is a good playoff team. We certainly didn't see their best, only because, they weren't at their best. So for the reason that they didn't sell, they didn't buy, they just believe what they have will work, and that this year it just wasn't in the cards. Yeah, C+.
Yeah, and I think the other piece of that,
also good too. Markstrom also good.
Yeah, 100%. They did sign Jake Allen to an offseason deal as well. I think they gave him 5 years though, or something.
Yeah,
like
that was to get the AAV. I don't even think it's $2 billion. It's a peanuts deal.
Yeah, the other thing I was going to add too is from an organizational standpoint, I guess the spin zone is that you got all of your younger guys in the AHL, some playoff experience and actual legitimate playoff experience, sure, which could pay some dividends down the road. You never know. Damn it. I'm trying to get these. It's just not working. They're kicking my ass right now. But yeah, I'm with you. I mean, it's really hard to judge a team that lost literally their best player in beginning of January, I believe. It was right before Four Nations.
I don't remember exactly when it was, but they lost their best player, which
I'm pretty sure it was middle of January, because they were literally 500 from that point on to the rest of the season.
That's tough, man.
Well, he played 62 games, no playoff games, so yeah.
So February.
So January.
Yeah. No, February, because they played.
So, and they were, like I said, 500 down the stretch without him, which is about all you can expect when you don't have your best player.
Like I said, the expectations get shifted so quickly. Take the best player off of any team. Where do your expectations go? Oh, bye, Connor McDavid.
Yeah, I mean, they go south for the winner. Did you say Dallas?
Seattle.
Oh, Seattle. Gotcha. Nice. Oh, my goodness. Well, we'll see for the Devils. They do have a nice roster. I mean, they still got Timo Meier. They've still got Jesper Bratt, who had
They're a great team. They're a great team.
Their defense really intrigues me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Luke Hughes needs a deal. I'll be curious to see what that looks like, whether they go long or bridge.
Seamus Casey looked good when he came in.
Seamus Casey looked good.
Especially early on.
Siegenthaler is criminally underrated, man.
I was going to say, watch out for
defenseman. Yeah. That's a good defenseman.
He's
so Dalton, you didn't give us a grade.
I would go C. I'd go C right at average. Like you said, it's hard to penalize anybody in that situation, but again, they didn't do anything really to make up for it either. So I would definitely go C. And I think I might have gotten my hiccups, so we'll definitely see in that regard too. But yeah, we'll be moving forward. I think it's 3 C's, so that's not too bad. But we do have to C+. Okay, well, it's still a C. Get out of here. Anyway, that was our 2025 Metro Report Cards. It's time to get negative on this podcast. Time to wrap this puppy up like we normally do. This is In the Bin. It's brought to you by our friends at warlordbeardoil.com. Make sure to check out warlordbeardoil.com and use the promo code OLDSPORTS for 15% off beards, oils, washes, soaps, and more. Any orders over $65 will get you free shipping as well. So make sure to check out our friends at Warlord Beard Oil at warlordbeardoil.com. Graham, who are you putting in the bin this week?
Well, the Pittsburgh Pirates are now the second team in MLB history to have, in the first inning, 9+ runs, 10+ hits, a grand slam, and a 3-run home run. The other team to do this was the Cincinnati Reds in June 18th of 1893 when they defeated the Louisville Colonels 30-12. I know this doesn't sound like a bin, but oh, it is. The Pittsburgh Pirates recently faced the Colorado Rockies, where after the first inning, they led 9-0. Entering the bottom of the 8th inning, they led 16-10. Entering the bottom of the 9th, they led 16-12. And they lost 17-16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a great game to
you
go
do
to.
not have a game like that and avoid the bin.
Wild game to be at.
Yeah, I was going to say, you mentioned people left.
Wild game.
That was really my
don't
first
escape
thought.
the bin with that effort.
No. It's hard to get away from the bin in that standpoint. Yeah.
You get the C and the bin, but it's the bin.
Yeah. And I think I told Linnea that when I was looking at the score. I was like, could you imagine the people that left in the 5th inning? Because they were like, oh yeah, this game's over. I bet they felt like dummies when they got home.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, literally. Damn it. I'm going to end these hiccups. And literally, as soon as we get off this episode, I'll stop hiccuping, I swear. Brock, who do you want to put in the bin this week?
This one's funny because I got a little twist at the end for you. The Penguins, according to reports, the social media follower total for the Pittsburgh Pens went down this past season over 11,000 followers. Dalton titled that the Dubas effect. I'd title that the I don't know, maybe Pittsburgh Penguins fans aren't as loyal as they want Crosby to be. I think that there's a little bit of a, tongue-in-cheek aspect to this. I can't hear you, Dalton.
Sorry, I'm muted. I'm hiccuping.
Oh, it looked like you were trying to say something. I wanted to make sure you were going to get out. No, I just think this is a bit of a double standard. I think it's interesting that they stopped following Pittsburgh and Crosby staying loyal. And I said I would not talk about this anymore, so I'm not going to. But yeah, you're in the bin, Pittsburgh social media, I guess.
Yeah, that's definitely the Dubas effect. I don't know how it's not the okay. Well, that's what I'll call it then, because that's what happens when Dubas becomes a part of your team. It just starts crumbling from the inside. Not that we don't have any evidence to back that up or anything. Anyway, no, good bin. I like that bin. I think it does fit really well with you. I'm glad you read it. My bin is going to be Workman's Comp, because I don't know if you've seen this or not, but Bayou, the Seattle Kraken mascot, I don't know if you guys saw this on social media. They went out, the mascot with some of the the social media folks for the Kraken. They were out salmon fishing or trout fishing in these rivers, and they were approached by some grizzly bears.
Yeah,
and there for a minute, nobody was sure if they were going to get out without getting attacked by the grizzly bear or not.
But they did not break character.
They did not break character. You can see them kind of moving up the stream a little bit. They did definitely have some giddy up in the britches. I definitely would be too if a bear was coming at me.
Might be a little shit in my britches if there's a bear coming at me.
Yeah, I hope everybody's looking at each other with the same question. But why are we out here doing this again? How is this hockey relevant?
Whose ideas was this?
Yes, literally. So Workman Comp's in the bin. Luckily, no one got injured. They got a good laugh out of it. But yeah, definitely a sticky situation to say the least. So, well, that was in the bin. Brought to you by our friends at warlordbeardoil.com. Make sure to check them out. Use that promo code OLDSPORTS for 15% off. And as always, we have to get positive. It's time to give the C, and this is Getting the C, brought to you by SeatGeek. Make sure to check out the SeatGeek app and use the promo code Old City Sports Network for $20 off your first purchase, courtesy of your friends here between the benches. Brock, who's the easiest C that you'll ever give out this week?
Well, now that you've said it like that, it's got to be CM Punk became the first wrestler to win the classic and modern WWE World Heavyweight Championships. Congratulations to him. I'm not going to continue this because it may or may not have lasted all of 3 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was shorter than
longer?
Why'd they have to do him like that? Like, it's such great storytelling, though. If you're not a wrestling fan right now, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's really good stuff right now. Really, really good stuff.
Yeah, it's about to become more expensive now that ESPN.
Let's not.
Yeah, I think I saw someone's going to cost an average of $510 to be a WWE fan now.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, yeah. Good to see you. Congratulations, and discongratulations to CM Punk. Big listener of this podcast, by the way. Huge Chicago guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Shout out to him. Yes. Graham, who'd you want to give your C to?
We are going to go to EA Sports releasing the cover and trailer for NHL 26. They've decided to have Matthew Tkachuk as the cover athlete. I was really hoping for a Johnny Gaudreau or even an Alexander Ovechkin when he broke the record. But no, it is just Matthew Tkachuk. But the Stanley Cup makes an appearance on the cover for the first time in about 10 years since Jonathan Toews lifted it in the cover of NHL 16. I'm just more excited to get rid of NHL 25. That's why they get the C.
Literally.
Fast forward this, please.
Yeah. Good Lord.
September is when it comes out, I believe.
4 weeks on Friday. If you get the
who's counting?
Yeah, right.
As soon as I saw the date, I opened my calendar on my phone. I'm like, how much longer do I have to fucking wait for this?
Dalton, I'm going to let you have 2 C's just because there's 2 C's in hiccup. So have at it.
He loves giving 2 C's.
I don't mind it. I've heard I'm decent at it. But the most important C, I will mention, the biggest C, the bigger of the 2 C's, is going to Layla Edwards. She made history and has become the first African-American woman to play on a USA hockey team. Just to recap her career as well, in the 2024-2025 NCAA season, she led the Wisconsin Badgers in scoring with 71 points on 35 goals and 36 assists in 41 games. And she led the nation in goals and finished 3rd overall in points. So shout out to Layla Edwards. A trailblazer in the hockey world. Shout out to her. Expecting big things from her in the Professional Women's League. The Olympics are coming up. Go ahead.
Graham Falkland?
Yeah, there you go. Graham Falkland. Yeah. So shout out to Layla Edwards. And then we'll also go to the second C will be Mackie Samsokevich.
That was actually pretty close. Yeah.
Sure.
Samoskevich.
Okay. Yeah, Mackie Samoskevich. So he is a native of.
Great.
It is a good little tongue twister. Yeah. He's a native of Sandy Hook, Connecticut, and he decided on his day with the cup that he would take it to the Sandy Hook Elementary Memorial. So he had a nice little heartfelt statement and kind of a story about him and his day at the cup. So thought it was pretty cool, little sentimental value. Obviously, one guy gets it after he's married, one guy takes it to the Sandy Hook Memorial. So just the storytelling I thought was really nice and just a nice gesture. So those were the getting the C's. We didn't have any other. No, not even James Tucker for his birthday this week.
Yes. Happy birthday, Jimothy.
So, yeah, happy birthday to a long-time listener, James Tucker. He's getting the C as well. But that was Getting the C, brought to you by our friends at SeatGeek. Make sure to use the SeatGeek app and use the promo code Old City Sports Network for $20 off your first purchase. Check out some baseball, some WNBA.
Hey.
College football will be coming up here soon. Football is back. I just want you to know that.
Yeah, I also want to give Brock's barber
the
C.
God.
You know what? Let's not forget.
I want to give both of you the fucking bid. Oh my.
Shut him out. Come on. Let the people know who shaped that mane right there.
Jeffrey Holmes, Sterling,
Nice.
Ontario. If you're ever in town, great hair.
Hell yeah.
Great barber.
I'm gonna book him tomorrow.
Good, yeah, good to chat with.
First thing, yeah. He should sponsor this podcast.
I'll get right on that. I'll ask him.
Yeah, we're bringing him so much business. It's gonna be insane.
Yep. He's cut my hair for
Yeah, but you get a haircut like once every 3 years.
It's like 6 months. I did while we're recording this. I'll say this into a mic. I didn't know like the average person cut their hair every like 5-6 weeks.
It's like 7 weeks. Yeah,
5-6 weeks. I'm like,
it's in Deadpool, I think.
5-6 weeks.
It's in the first Deadpool.
I am
like,
at
I gotta
least
kill
4 to 5 months, at least, in between haircuts. Unless I have an event. Unless I have something going on.
An event
like this podcast.
Like this podcast.
It helps cover your bald spot, I assume.
I don't have those anymore.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. Shout out to Graham. LOL. Nice.
I don't have multiple.
No, not at all. Not at all.
We should do a side by side of Graham with hair and without hair. I think you look so much better bald. You look so much more attractive, in my personal opinion. No, like from.
What's Jenny think? That's the most important question.
Oh, she loves it.
She loves bald. Nice.
I like
the
choice.
That's true. I don't mind the bush, you know.
You like it clean, you know. You like it.
Yeah.
I think we've overstayed our welcome here on that.
we're entering slap happy territory. We should do an episode that's not about hockey and we just talk about random things. Whether that be
people don't want to hear us talk about hockey as it is.
Between the benches after dark.
Yeah, like between the benches, get to know us episode kind of thing. Just hear our thoughts on movies or something. I don't know.
After dark, silly. I like it.
Yeah.
So, well, fair enough. Well, we are the Between the Benches podcast. We appreciate everybody joining us this week. We do have one division left, and that is the Atlantic. We saved the best for last, according to Brock. So we will be covering our report cards in that division. It will be our next episode. Hopefully, it could be coming out next week. Make sure to check us out on the socials, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everything in between. From myself, Dak, the other boys, Graham Fa, Big Canada Daddy. We will see you guys next time on the other side. And that concludes this week's episode of Between the Benches. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and check us out on YouTube. Also hit the like and subscribe button and look out for the next episode. Until next week, you Harley Riders.
Doc, what a fitting ending! This is incredible!